Westworld just ended its second season, and it was a lot of knowledge dropped at once in about a span of the last half hour.
Yeah.
So much happened. I'm tentative to say, I think I understand what happened.
Really?
Because I think I figured it out, everyone. I've been spending a lot of time on Reddit and a bunch of interviews.
Okay.
I think I kind of get what was going on.
All right. What do you think happened?
Okay, which part? Because, oh my God.
I don't know. I mean,
okay, let's start with what is Dolores doing?
Okay, well, now, like at the end.
Okay, what is she doing? What were her intentions in the last episode? And what is she going to do?
Well, I mean, she says she's going to destroy your world.
Yeah.
And then she made like second Dolores, right?
Okay,
she made
so,
Hale.
Yes, there's
into Dolores.
People are calling her Haloris.
Haloris,
I like
okay.
Shaloris better.
Okay,
But
all right.
whatever, internet, you picked it. I didn't do it. At the end, we see that she has taken maybe 5 or 6 of the host pearls, their brains, in her purse.
You're not calling them brain balls?
Brain balls.
Okay.
Cake balls.
Yeah.
You know, out of the cupcakes that came out of their heads. And we know one of them was Bernard. I think what happened at the end was Dolores, as Haloris, printed a version of her body and put herself into it. And I think one of the other hosts is in the Hale body, though some people think that Dolores is somehow able to inhabit 2 bodies.
That's what I thought. What I felt that she basically cloned herself and made a copy of her brain sphere and put that into.
That's tempting because that's very confusing, and that's what Westworld loves to do.
Yeah, they really want to confuse us.
Which is like, I made a second version of myself, but she's different because I changed her, like I did Bernard that time that he tried to kill himself, or no, have me kill him. So we learned that she tried 11,000 times with Bernard Arnold before she made her own version of him that was, in her opinion, better equipped, which is kind of what she did to Teddy, but it didn't work so well.
Right, Teddy didn't take.
Well, I think Teddy got the best possible ending Teddy could have gotten on this, which was, I mean, she overwrote some core parts of his personality. He's not cruel in his heart, and he isn't the same kind of, menace that she turned him into. And I think that part of his personality finally came out. He did take control by killing himself.
Right.
But by her putting him into the sublime, kind of giving him what he always wanted, not forcing him to go along with her on her journey that he doesn't agree with.
Right.
I think that's the best ending we could have gotten. What I have a question about, though, is if we're ever going to go look at the characters in the sublime again, or if their stories are over.
Right, and that was one thing that they said, that no one could hurt them anymore, or I think Dolores said that.
Should we take her at face value, though?
I mean, for this particular episode, I'd say yes.
Sure.
Next season, who knows?
Yes, but right here, it looks like her thoughts kind of evolved on the spot. So she went to the Forge, which we learned is kind of 2 sorts of systems. It's where the guests' data is kept in a sort of virtual world,
Right.
and also where the hosts go when they enter the sublime, in a way. And so she, at first, she had always been saying, I want to find the Valley Beyond. I want to get the weapon. It seemed weird. It seemed kind of aimless. And then she figured out what it was, and I think she was turned off by it. It was this thing where it's a static world where nothing can evolve and change, and it's its own thing. It's separate. It's kind of a heaven in a way. And she didn't want to do that.
Elysium or something.
Yeah, but she regarded it as another prison, like a digital prison for the host. So she was like, I'm going to destroy it. But then she changed her mind when she realized, I think, that maybe I don't have to force my will onto everybody. Maybe my choice isn't for everybody, which is kind of like what Maeve had done earlier in the season with Akane, when she was like, I don't want to be woken up. So I think Dolores isn't as evil as she was all season.
Okay. But she did say she's going to destroy our world.
She did, but she also put Bernard in there to give us a fighting chance.
Right, okay, so
or plurality or duality.
did she put Bernard in there thinking that maybe she was going to change her mind again?
Maybe she realizes she doesn't deserve to be the god or the dictator of the world, and maybe there are other ways to arrive at a satisfying conclusion.
Okay, kind of like I'm going to put my biggest rival in here and just see, to make it fair.
Maybe he's right. Maybe I'll give him that. Maybe
Right.
I'm wrong. But
Okay.
I think what she discovered was, over the season and over her time in Westworld, is that it doesn't make sense to force everyone to live under one person or host's dictation of what they think it should be. It would be more fair if there are competing ideas to work with each other, which does make her better than human. Because she did say, if I were human, I would have killed you. And that's what makes sense to us.
Right.
Because we probably wouldn't allow our greatest competitor to have any sort
Right.
of chance to defeat us. Right?
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy, but also makes a lot of sense.
I think that's what it is. That's
Okay.
my thought
Yeah.
of it.
The only thing that bugs me in general is that I hope that the showrunners and whoever had an arc for the entire series stays with the show. Because one thing that frustrates me about shows that make you think like this is halfway through somebody quits and then the theory that we all had then changes because that person just didn't want to work there anymore.
It sounds like you're thinking of a specific show.
Maybe. I don't know if I want to call it out or not, but it might be spelled L-O-S-T.
Oh,
Yeah,
no one
but-
who worked on that show works on this one, except J.J. Abrams.
JJ, don't let me down, man. Don't let me down.
So, a big question people have is with a scene that I thought wasn't really earned. And that is when Stubbs stopped Charlotte/Dolores leaving the park and was like, oh, I see that you're not only a host, but Dolores, and I'm going to let you go because I knew Ford. I didn't feel like that was ever earned through any kind of scene.
strange. Like, and then, so I was asking myself, is Stubbs a host?
I think we're supposed to question that.
Right.
I think he is a host because it does sound like something Ford would do, which is, he wanted to give the hosts a chance to escape. He was the one who coded the Sublime. He was the one who planted ideas in certain hosts. He thought Maeve would escape, but she did something different than what he thought, and etc. It seems like something he would do is build a host and then put that host in charge of the quality control of the other hosts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Sure. And so also we're supposed to believe that the Ford that we saw all season inside Bernard's mind was literally just inside Bernard's mind.
Yeah.
There was no Ford.
There
ever.
was no code. I think there was code at some point, but he deleted it.
He deleted it. And then ever since he deleted it, that's just him imagining a friendly helper.
Yeah. Well, like a violent helper,
Right.
but
Friendly to him.
it's similar to Dolores's discovery at the end of season 1, where she's like, well, I was the voice. I was the one. And it's interesting how cyclical this show is, or how full circle it is.
Yeah.
Rather. It does this a lot. A lot of people had issues with the playing with time in this season.
Okay, yes, okay, I did, but at the same time, I knew it was going to happen because of what happened on season 1. I felt like, okay, there's going to be some time shifts. Let's just deal with it. But I did actually get confused in the last episode on where we were in Bernard's timeline.
That's the one I'm going to have to watch again. But I think the 2 weeks later part of it is when Charlotte Dolores is there, not Charlotte. Because I think Charlotte was killed shortly after she killed Elsie, and that happened in the future, but 2 weeks earlier than the time that's the most present. It's very confusing. It's designed to be deliberately confusing, and I think that's a big part of why people love it and why people hate it. It's a lot for us to think about. I love it. Yeah. You should talk to Brett. He hates it. He's another host that sits out there. When we come back, we're going to...
Can you guess who my favorite character is?
Who?
Guess.
The Man in Black?
Ed Harris. Give that guy an Emmy. Give that guy a Golden Globe now.
I mean,
performance is amazing.
When he and Ford are together, it's great.
Oh.
Did you like that video? Then you've earned the right to hit the subscribe button. You also have that right if you felt so about it. You can do anything. I believe in you.